30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yo guys, and welcome to a new Twist Fate video. I promised not to do recordings, but I didn't stream this one, and I thought I had a really good movement, so I wanted to showcase how to weave in and out. So my team pinged an invade level 1, and I was changing songs on YouTube, so I arrived quite late. Then it looked like Braum was doing some weird baiting, so I thought, hey, I'ma join up with my team. And I take 2 tower shots because I'm an idiot. But then Lee Sin's finished spread buff, he kills me and already kind of feel like bored of the game because I don't usually like level 1 shenanigans. Since I don't really think I need an advantage to beat people. Like if anything, it usually goes more horrible than well most of the times. So here we start with a large deficit. It's 5 to 1. So we are quite screwed in terms of early game. Then I noticed that I took 80 Twisted Fate and I wanted to take PTA into Silas and Ignite to try and kill him, but then I realized the last second that I was playing with Fleet. So that didn't go as planned, and then I see a Yasuo showing up in my lane instead. And the Yasuo has 4 assists, so he has a longsword on me. So right now I'm a bit bored because it's 5 to 1. Usually these games never go quite well, my experience, but since I have Ignite, we're gonna try to just play the lane slow and see if we can try and kill him. So right now he's trying to shove in the wave, and we try to shove the wave out. Or just, well, not shove the wave out too much, but we try to cut it before it gets on the tower. Because I usually think of the minions as you're trying to break them. I shouldn't have blue carded the melee one there. Here I try to set up a bit on the wave. And then I kinda wanna hold the wave here, but for whatever reason I'm pushing the wave, so scratch that. I guess I can tell from the replay that I don't really care that much about the game early on, because it's 6 and 1 right now, based on my movements. I'm pretty carefree. Yasuo goes here on a weird trade. He tanks all the minions. So I try and trade him back, and then I'm like, wait, he goes again, so I ignite, and then I flash kill him. So that's one way you can take advantage of Yasuo players. If you do end up shoving the wave, you can utilize the wave to possibly out-trade him. Usually you get out-traded pretty heavily by Yasuo, but because this guy screwed up his wind wall or didn't skill wind wall, he lost quite convincingly, and the second wave crashed as he dashed into me, and then he took a second fight after noticing he was losing the first one. I think he thought I had the summoners down based on level 1, but I had both of them up, so he ended up donating a free kill. So that's pretty nice of him. Then my team managed to get 1 kill somewhere on the map, so it's 6 and 3. So that means since lanes begun, we're up like 2 to 1 if we dismiss the 5-1 start. So maybe the game is a bit salvageable. But right now we need to farm with Q, max range in the lane, because he's trying to freeze it a bit. And we already used summoners once to kill him. So there's no real point in stepping up and trading with him. Boots of Swiftness, because I noticed that my Rexa wants to step up. I immediately just throw the card to force his wind wall and get my cooldown back up on W. Here I try to cut the wave a bit. I don't really care too much about allowing him to crash it in. I misclicked the wrong minion. I missed that one as well because why not? I don't really like getting gold on TF anyway. And now we have a quite nice CS lead on him. So I immediately step back here, and the reason is, if I pause, is to make him believe that I'm recalling, so he can now then try to Q the wave. which he does. So that's a good way to try and manipulate people into thinking you're going back, and then they crash in the wave. Then you don't have to deal with their poke. It's especially useful in melee matchups. Here I try to cut the ranged minions a bit. And I know I'm gonna queue upwards so I get all of them. So it's important to get all the ranged minions as low as possible. I spot Rek'Sai and Braum trying to bait, so I kinda wanna like weave in and out, bait the Yasuo. Then I realized I instinctively tried to like dodge his Q rather than eating it. I throw out a Q to bait out his wind wall, which is bugged on the replay. And then I make sure that I use the stun card. As soon as he dashed on the minions and he stacked his Q, I knew the timing that I should Q him and kill him. Once he throws his Q out, I throw mine, because then he's standing still for like a split second, so I can guarantee landing mine and securing the kill. Make sure that the gold is in the right hands and we can go back and have a nice healthy buy. And since I'm going AD Twisted Fate, I've actually been skipping Trinity Force because I looked at the stats and I kinda just wanna rush into Kraken, RFC and Terminus if the game seems that I don't have that much threat onto me, because then the potential of me actually getting killed is way lower. Yeah, I noticed that they were doing something, so I just ended up getting an assist. It was not that much of a response. The Yasuo is like doing some weird stuff again. I go downwards because I kinda feel how he's gonna trajectory that. Then I make sure that I throw my W point blank onto him so I can immediately pass through his wind wall and then Q him so I get the kill. Because I don't really care for his wind wall there. That ends up being not too relevant. I noticed that the Yasuo TP, so I can't unfortunately shove it out. I tried to hit Q there and I managed to get one. I think it was just short range, a bit shy of getting the ranged one. But this should put us closer to Kraken Slayer. I favored the new item called Rectrix, I always forget the name on this, because I wanted more movement speed. And this also helps us get to lane quicker. Which then we can punish Yasuo for trying to go for a plate because my jungler is nearby. And this Yasuo has shown the tendency that he just wants to shove and be really far extended in lane. Also he's 0-5, so he's not that worth that much gold. Right now we're feeling quite good about the game. The Yasuo is kind of running it down. We're catching him multiple times, so he's showing like signs of tilting. And we recuperated the game for most part because now we're actually in the lead of kills despite the horrible deficit of starting 5-1. I'm 3-1 and I'm up like 2 waves on Yasuo. Wait, I looked at Silas to see as a scratch that. Can I switch this out? Yeah, I can. Okay, that's so much better. Keep looking at Silas CS because they swapped.
Rampage.
Here I go for the plate because I don't care if Yasuo goes on to me. He doesn't really have any means to kill me. I kinda felt that he wouldn't have the reaction to W, so I just decided to stun him and run away. You can kinda feel these things when you start playing against your opponent, because you just lower your expectations of them based on how they're playing, and you can kinda feel them out after a while on how they play and how they prefer even to shoot their abilities. So if you can just recall most of those things, you'll be pretty fine into even dodging abilities without thinking after a while. Because you notice some tendencies that maybe they favor left or right. Here I just wanna shove out the wave as soon as possible. Yasuo tries to go on me, I don't really care about getting hit by the Q, I just wanna recall immediately. He stacked his Q, so I stepped a bit back in case he's trying to cancel my recall. But we should ending up getting Kraken Slayer. Then I noticed that they were fighting bot lane, so I immediately go on to the Chimera. And I hold my W I wanted to fake first with Q or auto attack her, but she immediately popped her I wanted to say shield, but spinning thing to block my stun, so I could just hold it and wait it out. So that was really poorly played by her. And Amumu, I made sure to make him miss his Q. But if he were to hit or step up, I wanted to ignite him and then auto attack the Samira to death after baiting her W out. So that was my thought processing, so ended up being a really easy double kill. Here Damumu is like kinda chasing me a bit. I'm thinking if I should recall or stay. Then I stay because I think I can just shove this wave out really easily. My team does something on the bottom side. So I make sure that I also run over to try and help them if the fight gets extended. And I manage to also make sure that we get Damumu. And then I return bot lane. Clear the pink, I get the wave. Then I get the tower and I run away. Damumu is still chasing me slightly. Here I try to do a 2v2 with Braum. Because I'm feeling I can pretty much kite Damumu and the Samira. Braum ends up going a bit too much far out. We burn the Samira stun. I try to just 1v1 tap her immediately. Then I try to immediately flash out in case Amumu had Q or E. And then we push out the wave as well. The reason I knew I could tank the Samira there was because I had flash and Amumu just missed Q, so I was confident that I could kill Samira in her ult. Here I wanted to lock in and see what Lee Sin does, but luckily for me we trade 1 for 1, so despite him getting my shutdown, it's not the end of the world. Lee Sin kinda scales pretty shit. It's not been meta for a couple of seasons, he's kind of a niche pick. So me getting even more gold on basing is just heaven. I think I recalled here with 3600 gold. So I get RFC and I get another recurve and then I also get 300% attack speed item. Here I noticed Samira all by herself. So I try to go for her, see what she does. Then I realize I kind of screwed up because Amumu rotated. I thought Amumu was still hovering Yasuo mid, but I was wrong, so I ended up being punished for it. That was a bad and unnecessary death on my end. Now we noticed as soon as we respawn that something's happening. So we go for the Yasuo because he's a free kill, and then we also make sure that we help out and secure Amumu, so we immediately get 2 kills upon basing. He's just really nice. Here I try to see if Samira wants to jump on me or 1v1. I thought someone was gonna crash the wave, and then I realized that we never took this tower. So I had like bad awareness. Here I kinda thought my Braum or Rek'Sai would help me over the wall. And then I also thought I was strong enough to kill the Samira. So I was like, wait, Rek'Sai left and Braum recalled. I'm just inting at this point. So that was that was like the second bad death this game. Well, third if you take into account the level 1. So we do make a couple of mistakes. Most important is knowing that you made them. So then you can kind of reflect on it while you're just watching your screen. Unable to click. Here I make sure that I don't try anything dumb and try and 1v1 her again. She probably have sums up, which she does. Now looking at the replay, so my feeling was right that I shouldn't 1v1 her. Because I remember when I burned her cleanse bot lane and that it should be up by now. She even has flash up. So we just make sure that we shove out the wave and then try and get enough gold for Terminus, which we managed to get. And then we rotate up. We stun the Sylas. Then the Sylas just tries to get Rex ult and falls flat. So what we do here is we want to make sure and shove the wave with Rek'Sai. Here I can attack a bit cheekily the tower a bit, because we still had the Voidling minions. Here they try to go for me, which is really weird. Yasuo does a really bad wind wall. Lee doesn't step up, so I'm just safe to kill the Sylas after killing the Yasuo, and then I make sure that I flash and kill the Lee Sin as well. This way we just open the top inhibitor as well, which is really nice that they kind of hinted. And then we think to ourselves, maybe we can finish the game here. So Amumu manages to ult install the game here a bit. Make sure that we kill the Amumu. And then I notice I tank the tower afterwards. So we probably will only get one tower, because all of them are respawning. Make sure that we go to base, and then we're working our way towards Omen. The reason is simple: Yasuo will go crit, Samira has crit, and they have AD on Lee Sin. I don't really care for Sylas or Amumu damage because they're quite weak. We bait Samira again, she immediately just pops her W, which has been really weird. She's done this and she doesn't even try to watch me throw an auto attack or throw the W or even fake with Q. So she's kinda like playing bad and using it instantly. It's just makes it a whole easier for us. Because Samira is dead and we see Sylas bot lane, we proceed to take Baron. Then we just shove out the wave. Here we sidestep on Sylas because I felt he was gonna do it downwards. And we try to weave in here, in and out, because we don't know if they're in the bush or not. Samira goes in for whatever reason, we sidestep the Amumu Q. We make sure that we sidestep their one back to avoid the Amumu R. And then we kill 3 of them and we proceed to push. And then they FF'd. The really important part about that final team fight was baiting them, because by me stepping up, well, not the Silence intentionally, I could kind of feel that he was gonna do it downwards. So I stepped upwards, trying to hug the wall and kind of like do some mini movement. And then I wanted to step in and out towards the bush as my team was collapsing on the other side of the river, so we can smoke them out. And then we go a bit close, bait the Samira in. We also bait the Amumu Q and sidestep that. We're just like one small movement, max range, and then we also sidestep his ult when he's going in. So it's really important to know the radius and how to weave in and out on TF. And having these like high movement speed items and also Ghost usually. I went Ignite here to try and kill, which I managed to kill the Yasuo. But usually with Ghost and other things, when you go high movement speed, you want to do these small movements and weaving in and out, because they win team fights and it's really important. Here we managed to crawl ourselves back into the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and yeah, keep practicing your movement and just bait out stuff out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.